Okay, so today we are trying to finish the first paragraph of the first chapter in this book. Here we are running into a very important discussion about the foundations of Hegelian philosophy. The author himself says it's about fundamental principles, and the first component of that is the discussion on Greek idealism and Hegel. So this is pretty self-explanatory stuff, so I will just read you through some sentences and then explain when necessary. So Hegel claims that the substance of all previous philosophies is contained, preserved, and absorbed. Okay, so if anyone who still doesn't know, this is a very basic practice of Hegel's dialectical method. It's all about containing, preserving, and absorbing previous knowledge and then make it better. Somewhat like digestion, in which you digest the food and make your life slightly better in an extended period of time. And in that time, you have the possibility, you have the opportunity to make your life slightly better, to make some little improvements or big improvements of your life. So that's about Hegelian dialectics. You can see it's very living and it's also very energetic. So for Hegel, he believes in his philosophical system mostly about logic and about the phenomenology of spirit. He basically absorbs all the necessary components of all previous philosophies. So you see, I'm paraphrasing the sentence to make it easier for you, hopefully. But there are two influences upon him which far outweigh in importance all the others. These are the idealism of the Greeks and the critical philosophy of Kant. The fundamental principles of Hegel are the fundamental principles of the Greeks and of Kant. And our object in this and the next chapter will be extricate, which means to untangle, to release, to free these principles, these important principles from the two branches from the earlier thinkers. It is not our intention to expound Plato, Aristotle, or Kant, which means states the author himself will not go into all the details about these philosophers' thinking and ideas, because again, this is just a 500 pages books. We assume that the main outlines of their teachings are already known, not what is stated by them expressively, but what is implicit in them, what Hegel discovered as the underlying substratum, which means the foundation, the basic, of them beneath the surface. This it is our aim to set forth. We do not wish, so far as it can be avoided, to state over again what can be found in any competent history of philosophy. We have no academic penchant for treating things historically, which means we do not prefer to treat like every philosophical ideas as if we study philosophy in a historical perspective. But it will be found that the fundamental philosophical basis of Hegel is the same as the historical basis. We shall try to inflict upon the reader as little as possible of the lumber of historical learning or the familiar gossip of the professorial classroom. So this kind of preference is why I have chosen this book, because it's practical enough, but really an easier pathway to study Hegelian philosophy when compared with the other books and also when compared with Hegel's own text.